So here's what we're going to do. Retention. We're going to end this day, or these 2 days, with methods of retaining your associates. Why is that important? Shout it out. It's cost effective.
I was going to say, you don't want to go through the whole training and then have them quit and you have to do it all again.
Exactly. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Consistency. By the way, that $2,500 thing that Mark talked about, how much it costs to turn over, it's actually a lot more than that. Those are costs related to just hiring somebody, training them, and then maybe the lost wages. But you are also paying recruiters, you're paying staff, you're paying people to design programs about hiring. I mean, there's a lot of other expenses. I've heard in the tens of thousands of dollars when you're replacing somebody frequently. Yeah?
And the biggest cost, I think, is just guest
Yes.
service. And you can't really put a price on that because one of the guests.
Actually, you can put a price on it. Because there's a guest that's no longer going to be putting their money in our house. So yeah, you can. You really can. So, as we talk about retention, the advantages to retention, obviously, it costs you money to replace people. Employees are or should be what makes your company great. All of us, Hilton, Radisson, Sheridan, you name it. We all have beds, we all have lobbies, all have restaurants, all have room service. Okay, so it's not about that stuff, usually. It's about our associates. We're the people that make the difference as to why people come to Marriott. And so it's important. That's one of the reasons why retention is important. It's a lot more fun to work in a community where people have been there for a while. It's nice to know that they know their job. And it's nice to know that you're kind of getting taken into the family, so to speak. We'll talk a little bit more about that. People are more productive if they're content with their jobs. And if they're not content, they're going to leave. So you can bet that if they're not content, they're probably not giving you the productivity that would be the best for your business. Make sense? Cool. All right. So, what is the secret? There is a secret to retaining your associates. What is it? Who knows? Yes?
Isn't treating them well, maybe?
Treating them well. What else?
Communication.
Communication. What else?
Training.
Training. What else?
Keeping them motivated, like
Keeping-
make them want to be there.
Make them want to be there. Okay. Yes?
I think making them feel like they're cared about. Or like you care if they leave or you care if they're there.
Making, okay, so showing that you care. Okay. Guess what?
It's none of them.
We're not going to tell you yet because we need to play that incredible game show, What's Your Choice? That's right, the incredible game show where you get to choose the reason why your employees are staying at the hotel where you work or the property where you work. Aren't you excited to play? Okay, what I need you all to do is stand up, walk out those doors, and walk in the door where the food usually is. Okay? And I'm going to have each of you come back one at a time through that door. Coach can let you through. And I'm going to have you make a choice as to what the real reason is. Your choices. Was it a hard choice? Yes. Why?
Because they're all negative.
They're all horrible, aren't they?
Yes.
They're all horrible. Man, it's like picking rotten apples and rotten plums. Seriously. All right. Well, let me tell you something. Those are all really stinky choices. But why did you pick what you picked? Rush.
This is what's important.
Say that again?
She told me to pick one.
I told you to pick one, right? Yeah. Well, that's why you picked what you picked. Yeah. I had 12 people pick number 4, that you're the best worker in the department, but you receive no praise or recognition. So that's okay with you?
Yeah.
Well,
Not really.
but is it the lesser of the evils here?
Yeah.
The next one, I had 6 people pick that you complete a project that you've worked on for months, but your boss gives your coworker all the credit. I had 5 people say that you don't know what's expected of you and your job. I had 4 people say that your performance review is a month late, which means that your raise is also a month late.
Yeah, but you can wind to HR and they can backdate that.
All right, payroll.
I'll take the story about that. And then number 2, I only had 3 people say that you're overlooked for a promotion for which you are qualified, which tells me that that's the one that you really don't want to have happen to you. Yeah. All right. Well, let's look at it again. What is the secret to retention? Anybody know yet? You are! You are the secret to retention. That may seem like, yeah, okay, we've been sitting here for 2 days, you idiot. Of course we're the secret. But what I'm trying There are so many things that you as leaders and supervisors can do that affect our associates directly. Gallup organization, familiar with them? They do all these polls. They did a poll of over 1 million workers. And guess what? They found that a bad boss or supervisor is the #1 reason why associates leave a company.
Yes.
And there's a couple of other weird statistics in there. A great employee will leave a bad company, or excuse me, a great employee will leave a great company if they have a bad boss or supervisor. And the opposite is also true. A great employee will stay with a crappy company if they have a great boss or supervisor. Does that make sense? So you are the key to retention. This presentation, when it was put out by Marriott, they talked about recognition and awards and all this kind of stuff. But guess what? That's not what it comes down to. It comes down to you doing your jobs correctly so that people will be happy that they're working for you and or with you. Sound good? Makes sense? I mean, really, that's what it's about. Sherry Harley, she's the co-founder or the founder of a company called Culture Second. She explains 4 points that talk about retention and what it's all about. So I'm glad you're on that same wavelength. Let's go over the 4 points you talked about. Number 1, associates want faith in the company's leadership. Can I tell you how much I love working for Marriott? I feel like it's a company that knows its stuff. It's a company where the leaders are aligned, or at least should be, and I have a feeling they are. One of the things that she mentioned is that, oh, by the way, this is on page 9 if you want to write any of this in or underline or make notes. But one of the things that she mentioned is that you as a leader, and even if you're fairly new in a position, and this is especially difficult if you've worked with a team for a while and all of a sudden you're put in charge of the team, you're the supervisor or the lead of the team, all of a sudden you have gained more responsibility, but not just in your job. You have gained a title of leadership in the company. It is really important, and I know it's hard, but it's really important that if the company has a direction that they're going, and it may not be popular for whatever reason, as a leader, you are supporting the company. Does that make sense? Because if you're not supporting the company, what do people think of you as a leader? They may say, well, at least he understands us, or at least she, can feel what we're feeling. But are they going to trust your leadership abilities? Because leading means leading them to somewhere. And in our company, we have lots of opportunities to advance and things like that. So please remember, be aligned with the company. As a supervisor or a leader, you now have that responsibility to do that. Doesn't mean you have to like everything they do. But you need to be a cheerleader behind it and say, you know what, this is going to be a little bit of a challenge for us. This is something that I know might not be popular, but we're going to go for it. And that's how you lead. Celebrate success. Oh my gosh, do you know that the Marriott stock has almost doubled since 2012? Almost doubled since 2012. 3 years. Do you know that we are the #1 luxury hospitality company, meaning Ritz-Carlton? #1. We have so many things to success. #1 business for working mothers. #1 business for hiring diverse vendors. Okay, people of color, women-owned businesses, that kind of thing. There are so many things to celebrate, and as we celebrate those things, it makes our associates realize, man, I'm really working for a great company here. That's pretty cool. So, celebrate success. Who's that? Who?
Paris.
Paris Hilton, exactly. I walked over to the Salt Palace across the street a couple years ago to the Outdoor Retailers Summer Convention, and I'm walking along, I've got my Marriott name badge on, and I stop at this booth, I'm looking, and the guy that's at the booth, he goes, oh, you're with Marriott. Oh, I love you guys. I'm staying over there across the street right here at the conference. He goes, I would never stay at that Hilton place. You know what Paris Hilton's got? She's off the leash. She's doing whatever she wants. She's making the whole company look bad. I don't have to worry about Bill Marriott running around in his underwear. You know what I mean? Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. And so Marriott is a big company and doesn't have to worry about the extra baggage that goes along with that kind of stuff. And guess what? A guest told me that that's the reason he doesn't stay there. So obviously, that's a guess. That's an opinion, and if that's his opinion, that's going to affect him and who he suggests to stay at different places. Associates want leaders who are visible and approachable. Do not hide behind your desk. There's an acronym, because Marriott loves acronym. It's called MBWA, Managed by Walking Around. You need to be out with the people. That may be your job anyway. How many people have a job that you're with your teams anyway, and you're right next to them, and it's all good? That makes it a lot easier. But sometimes, either in positions that may come up, or in the positions you're at now, you're going to find times where you're just going to be kind of tied behind the desk, answering emails, doing projects or whatever. Get out. Be known by your people. Let them understand that you can go to them just as easy as they can go to you. It's a two-way strip. Associates want to know that their leaders care about them. I got to tell you, Todd Schaefer, who taught the professional business and career development course this morning, he was my boss. And my wife has some health challenges, and it's so nice to come in the morning after a weekend or after maybe my wife went to the hospital or something. And the first thing he did, he came to my office and sat down and he says, "How's your wife?" I know he cares. Poe,
Yes.
how does it make you feel when I ask that about your parents?
Makes me feel the same way because I know that someone outside of my family cares about what I'm going through outside of work.
Yeah, absolutely. We all want to feel like we're cared about. Hugely important. And you know what? We have pets. Todd had 2 dogs. Now he's got 1. I asked him about his dog because I knew he was not doing so well. This is after I got in my position. He was gone for a couple months. I said, "How's your dog doing?" He goes, "No, actually, we had to put him down." He says, "But thanks for asking." You know, it was something I cared about. I knew something about it. It was personal. Medical things. Goals. You know, do I know your goals? I'm your leader. I'm your supervisor. Do I know where you want to go? Do I know where you want to be 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 6 months from now, maybe? Those are all things that are extremely important. And point 4, employees want to know how they're doing. You know, you don't know, number 1 over here, we had 5 people, it's like, you know, you don't know what's expected of your job. Well, it is so horrible to be in a job where you're just kind of floating. Like, I'm doing my job, I think. I don't know if I'm doing good. Don't know if I'm doing bad. Nobody's throwing things at me, so I guess I'm doing okay. But it is so important to give feedback, and on a regular basis. How many of you would like to have, you know, do your job, get feedback once a month, just so you know how you're doing? How many would like that every day? Guess what? We're not all the same. And our associates aren't all the same. You know, there are a few hands for each. And so you kind of need to get to know the people. But guess what? It's okay. Hey, Jake, good job today. Appreciate you. You don't want to do that every day. Jake's going to go, "Here he comes. Here he comes." And then he's going to be jealous because I'm saying it. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. But you do want to be sincere. Michael. We talked about Michael and his shiny shoes. He's my payroll specialist. He is holding down the office while Poe and I are up here playing. And so today I just wrote him a little email and said, "Hey, thanks for holding down the office today. Appreciate it." It's a little thing, but at least he realizes that I realize what he's doing. It goes a long way. And that recognition, or that feedback, can be email, can be, you really want to impress them. If they really did something great, write them a thank you card. Mail it to their homes. What does that mean? It's very personal. It's like, really? He took the time out? He took the time out to write this card? You don't get that much anymore. Yeah.
Okay, I've only been here since June, but my birthday was last month, and I actually got a card on my birthday exactly from you guys.
It's what we do.
So, I would say.
Yeah. It's a birthday card. Todd, I love Wiener Schnitzel. I love Wiener Schnitzel. I always get the chili cheese dogs. It's just the way it is. It's been that way since high school. I don't eat there a lot, but sometimes if I'm out traveling around outside of the hotel and I happen to be driving by, I'll make a trip to go to Wiener Schnitzel. Anyway, I will go there, and they know, and it's kind of a joke in the department, you know, is Rick going to come back with a Wiener Schnitzel back, you know, and sometimes I do. But
Sometimes.
Todd knows about that, and guess what I got for my birthday? Todd gave me a Winchell's gift card. It was exciting because guess what? It's something I can use, and it was personal. You know, it's not like, here's a $25 Visa gift card. Hope you can use it. You know, but it was personal because I know he was listening to what was going on and knew that that was special to me. So feedback is important. All right, other things that will help retain associates. We talk about being part of a family. I just spoke with an associate recently who is leaving the company and doesn't want to leave the company because they worked with the company for several years. It's like, you know what? This is family. This is kind of where I pictured retiring. You know? Now, sometimes there are people that just don't fit into that family picture. Okay? Get this guy here. I think it's a guy. This kid obviously knows to scream when this guy gets close, but it doesn't fit the family picture. And sometimes we can let go of people when they don't fit into the family. And that's okay. But we want to make sure that this person knows that on Sunday, we are all dressing up for a family picture, and you're invited because you're part of the family. Even though you're a goofball, we still love you because you're family. And so that is a huge, huge reason that will help retain your associates. Pay. I see over here your performance review is 1 month late, which means that your raise is also a month late. All right? I am actually surprised. Well, actually, I think it's a good thing that there weren't more people that chose that one. Well, no, actually, that means if the less people that chose it, that means you really don't want that to happen to you. I've had people come to my office. I had one of my laundry attendants come to my office, and he stands in the door and says, "Rick, I need to talk with you," in very broken English, from Burma. And he says, "I need to cancel my insurance." I said, "Why?" And tears well up in his eyes. He says, "I can't afford it." He says, "My wife just had a baby, and what I'm making is not cutting it. She can't work right now, so I need to cancel my insurance." They have a new baby that you want to keep healthy, and he's in my office and he's crying because he needs to cancel his insurance, which is one of the things that's probably the most important thing for that child. And he needs to cancel his insurance. And I think, why is anybody ever put in that situation? It just stinks. But it's a fact of life. I can tell you right now that in this room, there's probably half of you living paycheck to paycheck. If all of a sudden, payroll screws up, thank you very much, and she screws up, and you don't get paid for a week, oh, that's no problem. We'll just put it on next week's paycheck. Yeah, but my rent is due this week. Sorry. Sorry? Does that work? I don't want to work for a company that's going to do that to me. Now, we all need to understand mistakes can happen. Understandable. But realize that you're messing with somebody's livelihood in a lot of cases. You're messing with whether somebody is going to be late or not for their car payment. Whether or not they can pay for their insurance. Really super important. That's why you are the secret to retention. Because when you help them get paid correctly, for one, and also make sure that they're getting paid something that is compatible to what the market is paying. If you know in your heart that where you're working, the hotel that you're working, is paying $1 less an hour or 50 cents less an hour for the same job, maybe it's time to talk with your HR people or your general manager or whoever and say, you know what? My people are getting 50 cents less an hour than everybody else down the street in the other places. I'm afraid I'm going to lose them. You can be their cheerleader. You can say, hey, I'm going to fight for you guys. I'm not going to promise anything, but I'm going to fight for it. And that's something that you can do to show also that you care. So help them get paid correctly. As we talk about recognition, there are so many ways of recognizing people. Let's talk about the non-monetary ways, the things that are not going to cost you a lot of money, if any. All right? And you've got a list of this on page 11 in your workbook. Oh, no, you don't. You have areas where you can write things down. What I want you to do is write a couple of these down. You don't have to write them all down. but write some things down that you will do. And I say will do because some things it's not your style, some things won't work well with your team. But you know what? A thank you or a personal note from a manager to the associate, hey, listen to this, and their family members. How would it be if you have a really busy season and you've got employees that are busting their butts and they're working 50 or 60 hours a week for a couple weeks to make sure that the guests are having a great experience. And then after they've sacrificed and been pulled away from their family, their home family, and they've worked to make the business work, and you write a letter, a thank you card that says, Dear Steve and family. Or Dear Steve's wife, maybe you know Steve's wife's name. Dear Lorraine, thank you so much for allowing Steve to help us out a bunch of extra hours over the last couple weeks. He really has helped us a lot. Oh my gosh. If you can do something to, make Steve's kids happy, Steve's going to be happy forever. I know that's how it is with me. Somebody at some business takes care of my kids, I'm theirs for life. So all of that kind of stuff, finding out birthdays, and all that kind of stuff are great ways to send thank yous. Giving somebody a break during the day, is that okay? Really? Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes? Are you sure? It is. Absolutely. Absolutely. Make sure that you're empowered to do that. But you know what? If somebody's been busting their butt, and they just need, maybe you see somebody that just needs time to think, maybe they're working with some challenges at home, you say, you know what? You've had a hard day. Why don't you grab 15 minutes and just chill on the couch or whatever your break area is? And guess what? Pay them for it. Sounds kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it? But really, you're going to say, that person's going to say, wow, she cares about me. Just let me collect my thoughts and I'll be a better worker when I get back to work after that 15 minutes. Praise boards, celebrating our successes, an area to post things. Employee of the month, thank you meeting in front of your peers, sitting in a meeting. Jay, thank you so much for all that you do. Jay did this and this. We got this letter from Jay. Let's give Jay a big hand. And that's the kind of meeting and the non-monetary recognition we're talking about. Posting guest comment cards. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's so nice to see your name up in lights. And guess what? If you think it's nice for you, everybody else gets to see your name in lights too. So that's kind of exciting. Do that for your people. As we talked about recognition that costs a little bit of money, and I put an emphasis on a little bit, it can cost a lot, but you can also cost a little bit, and that's food and beverage certificates. Maybe give them a free meal in the restaurant. Maybe give them a free meal in the cafeteria, if you have a cafeteria. Gift certificates, plaques, trophies, ribbons, all that kind of stuff is easy, doesn't cost a whole lot of money, but can have a lot of bang for the buck. A little gift basket filled with goodies and candies and flowers and Wiener Schnitzel gift cards. Make it personal. Maybe somebody has a certain kind of pet, and just in casual conversation, you found out that that certain kind of pet likes turkey-flavored Hill's Diet Science dog food. I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there, and all of a sudden they get a gift basket sometime with a dog basket with some goodies and stuff. It's for your dog. Thanks for all you do. And they may like go, hey, what's in it for me? You gotta have your dog. It's all good. Okay. Breakfast, lunch, coffee, donuts with the manager. Sometimes it's just nice. You say, man, you've been doing so great. Let's just go out for lunch. Or let's come and grab a coffee with me at Starbucks. Whatever it may be. Little things. Birthday or anniversary celebration. Todd was really good at this with us. We all celebrate. We had a bunch of us. Nikki, September birthday. Michael had a September birthday. Todd has a September birthday. We'd all go to lunch together. It's just kind of a fun thing to look forward to. Team events, picnics, all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's your department. National Housekeeping Week happens, and so we always have donuts for housekeepers, and we make breakfast for the housekeepers during that week. Just fun stuff like that. What I want you to realize is that there's also things that Marriott puts out as formal recognition. And these are kind of really the over-the-top, wow, this person is amazing kind of recognition. But I can guarantee you that there's some of the people that you're working with and that work under you have the potential to be these award winners. Our our Kenny Willard Marriott Award of Excellence, one of the most distinguished awards. There's usually maybe a couple of dozen people that get that in a year. And they get flown to DC and they get to tour Marriott headquarters, and I mean it's pretty big. And then they have a big gala, and you get brought up on the stage, and Mr. Marriott and Arnie Sorensen shake your hand. I mean it's a big deal, and you can nominate your people for those kind of things. The Edge Award, designed for rooms leaders. These are for people who deliver an exceptional guest experience. And again, these can be people that you work with. Property Associate Performance Awards for super as well as full service properties. That could be your manager, your leader of the quarter, that could be your associate of the quarter, that could be your guest service star of the quarter, whatever it may be. We have a celebration here about what's a quarter where we have, invite everybody for an hour and we talk about safety and we talk about awards and we talk about great things and what guests are saying. And we have great food and it's a way of celebrating together. So those are a lot of things you can do. Now, think about this. What is it that retains you? Why are you still working for Marriott? Who wants to volunteer any information? Yeah.
The people I work with.
Because of the people you work with. Family. Okay, thank you.
Opportunity for advancement.
Opportunity for advancement. Fantastic. Can I tell you, when I started here 22 years ago, my hair was not this long. Just saying, there was a lot more. But when I started here, I thought it was a job. And little did I know that 10 or however many years later, I was going to marry a German girl, a girl from Germany. And little did I know that her parents were going to be there. But guess what? There was a Marriott 2 hours away from where they lived. And I was able to transfer to them. How awesome is that? And that was really cool. And guess what? We have the only grandkids. So if I would not have had that opportunity, I would have in-laws very, very mad at me for stealing their daughter away. So it's a cool company. It's a worldwide company. 4,300 hotels in 81 countries. Cool company. What else? What other reasons are you staying? Why are you staying where you are? Yeah.
I feel different in this job than I have in any other job.
You feel different here. Why?
Definitely you feel loved, you feel that you're important each and every day. It doesn't matter what you do, you're always important to the Marriott family.
What if you started not feeling important?
Yeah, then obviously I would start looking elsewhere. There's something that changed.
Something changed. Anybody else have anything? Yeah.
We are a franchise, and from the moment I started with this company, not just YMGM, but the management company, they are way up and up.
Isn't that awesome?
It's awesome. I've never worked for a company like this in years.
I feel really bad sometimes that I don't have empathy for people that say that they have had bad bosses and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking outside of Marriott. I've heard friends at church or friends at wherever, and they say, man, my boss, I hate him. And I'm thinking, man, I've had 22 years of peace, love, and joy. Man, great boss. Heather.
I was just gonna say, like, how he was saying, like, if he gets bored or things like that, within Marriott, it seems like there's a bunch of different departments we can transfer into and learn more, and even, like, if you get bored with Utah or whatever, there's so many locations everywhere that you can transfer to and get a new experience. And you can still stay with them.
You can still stay with the company. Exactly. Use those experiences. The experience that Todd gave earlier, somebody going from the front desk discipline to the food and beverage discipline. That's quite a sidestep, but it's a step that will end up being a larger step forward for that matter. Okay? Good? You're the key. If you are not telling your people what's expected of them, you're probably not going to retain them. If you're overlooking people for promotions who are qualified for them, you're probably going to lose them. And if somebody completes a project in your department and you give somebody else credit, you might lose them. And if you've got your best worker in your department, but nobody knows it, that's a problem. you might lose them. And if you're messing with somebody's pay, you might lose them. So this is kind of a heavy way to end this 2 days, isn't it? It's all up to you. And this 2 days has all been talking about things that you can do to make sure that you're going to keep associates, that you're going to be able to be more effective as supervisors or leads or managers, or if you're not there yet, you kind of know a little bit better what to do. One of the challenges with these kind of classes is you learn this stuff, and then you start looking at your manager when they do dumb things. Like, no, you learn something different. Come on, get on it, coaching is motivating. So anyway, that's it for retention and selection. You ready to go out and do great things?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. I think you're going to. I think you're going to.